who have made a strong commitment to green practices and to the environment. And the name of the award is All at Once, which is Jack's Social Action Network, which connects fans with nonprofit partners and encourages people to take environmental action in their local communities. And All at Once promotes plastic-free initiatives such as this and sustainable local food systems, which we are also integrating into the tour greening and into sustainable practices that we encourage venues to adopt. So the Santa Barbara Bowl is being recognized as a leader in venue greening for implementing best practices and for piloting new initiatives such as the new My Pint and Me program, which was launched at Jack Shows here in the fall. And some recent greening initiatives the Bowl has taken on include removing non-native plants, solar power, starting a Bike Valley program, and waste management, recycling, and composting programs. So the Bowl has really led by example, and we hope that it sets the stage for others to follow. So we're really happy to be here and excited to present this inaugural award today. And to do the honors, I'd like to bring up Kim and Jack Johnson.
Yeah, beautiful bow. Thanks for having us, you guys. It's always a pleasure to be at the Bowl. It's nice to be here. It's so quiet, and usually I'm either really nervous because I have a show coming up, or it's just a million people around and we're going to see a show. But I think the first show, we were trying to figure it out, talking last night, I think we saw James Brown in 1997, maybe was our first show.
Yeah, I think we didn't have enough money to come before that. Yeah. So it was like our senior year of college. It was the first time we made it to the Bowl.
Most of these shows at the Hub at UCSB before that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got over here for a few shows. We just loved coming here. It was a real special date night for us when we'd come here. And then we got to hang out with Ben Harper backstage one time. I remember that was a real special time for me. It was the first time he'd heard my music, and so a lot of fun memories backstage, even before I played my own show. And then I got to open for Ben Harper in 2001, and I think at that show, Kim was counting in merch up there. I was kind of right around the beginning of her involvement. I started stealing her from Dos Pueblos as a math teacher, and she started coming on the road and doing a little bit of like taking care of the guest list at first in these little clubs and whatnot, and then it grew into really just full-on managing with my other manager, Emmett, over a good friend, Emmett Malloy. And so Kim really just moved into this role where she started kind of taking care of the tour for me, and especially when it came to all the greening and the greening initiatives that we do on the tour. So whenever it comes to that part, I always wish I had Kim with me in interviews, because when people ask me, like, what exactly are you doing? I'm like, oh, can I call my wife right now? Because, you know, I know the broad things, but Kim really knows all the details. So I might pass it over to her about more details on why we're passing this award to the Bowl.
Well, we're really excited because I was just thinking back to about a year ago. I think I had a call with Eric. We were on tour. We were on our East Coast side of the tour, and we were like looking forward. The West Coast was going to be at the end of the summer. And Jacob said, well, you really got to, my cousin Jacob over there from the NERCON, he's like, you really need to talk to Eric Schiffler of the Bowl. Like, they're doing such great things there. You know, I think you guys could work out something really amazing. So I remember, I think we were in Atlanta when I had this call with Eric, and it was just so refreshing, because a lot of times, you know, I'm not the one actively talking directly to managers at the venues anymore. Luckily, I have great people on our team that take care of that. But when there's a venue doing special things, it's really great to just interface directly with them. And we had this wonderful conversation, and he was sharing all these amazing things that they were doing, and it was like we're on the same page on all these aspects. And he's like, and we have another idea we've been trying to get, you know, in place, but we just haven't. You know, we want to do this pint program. And I was like, wow, that's right in line with all these things that we've been doing, and try to encourage venues to cut out single-use plastics, and especially water, single-use water bottles and cups for, you know, beer. And so he had been researching all these cup options, and we had been working with a clean canteen on the road and bringing out these water stations. So he was kind of this was the first venue that was like, yes, we want to do this. And so we kind of had a really quick turnaround. Like, it was only like 2 months before Jack's show. I said, do you think you guys could get your pint program in place to launch it at Jack's show? And he's like, okay, well, I got to do this, I got to do that. It's like, let me see what I can do. And I said, okay, well, we'll, like, you know, let us know what we can do on our end. And somehow it all came together, and you know, and it was Labor Day weekend last summer that, you know, they had the first pint. So we're like, can we sell our pints too? And he was like, okay, let me check on that. So that happened, and then it was really great, because now when we followed up with them the few months back. I said, how's everything going? And he said, well, now, you know, we've actually encouraged other bands to have their own branded pipes. So, you know, they come, like some, you know, other bands come through town and we have them do a branded pipe. And I guess ever since the oil spill, there's been a few bands who actually donated the proceeds for their special, you know, one-of-a-kind pints to cleanup efforts for the oil spills. So it's just really refreshing and really wonderful to see a venue just kind of having the same vision and ideals that we've been doing for, you know, the last, I don't know how many years, 8 years on tour. So, and then, so when we decided we were going to give this award, well, we knew we wanted to give it to the bowl, but we had to be all fair and like look at our metrics and, you know, so we couldn't just pick like the favorite student in the class, even though you know who it is, right? So, you know, we looked at everything and we like had our surveys and, you know, there's math behind it. So we know that they really are the top venue. And then when we were thinking about, well, what do we want to give them? What is the reward? Like, is it a plaque on a wall? Like, what are we going to do? And we're like, no, it needs to be a tool. It needs to be something that they can use and it can carry on this message and actually be something that's a living, working, you know, aspect of the greening. So we were like, okay, well, let's get them their own refillable water station. So they got to pick out their branding and what they wanted to look like. And so now they can move this around wherever they want. On, you know, if they have an event up top, they can put it up there. So we're really excited. So these are the same water stations that we took on his last tour, and they're real easy. People can, you know, bring their own water bottle or buy the branded bowl cup or the special cup for that night, for that show. And then it kind of integrates with what the bowl is already doing with their My Pint and Me program. So anyways, we're very excited to present this first award, and I just want to thank a few people who helped make the My Pint and Me campaign and initiative possible. So a shout out to Loa Tree, thank you guys, and Aniricom, and Niederlander, Moss Jacobs is here somewhere, hiding.
Moss Jacobs.
Oh, there he's in the back. And I think I've probably told Moss this before, but never got to do it publicly. But Moss was there and helped me settle my first show when Jack played at the El Rey in LA, like, I don't know how long ago, 15 years ago. And so he would like, you know, there's not that many girls like tour managing and doing stuff, and he was, you know, and then wives, you know, like you're kind of like, eh. So he was like very always welcoming, and thank you, Moss, for just, you know, taking me under your wing, and it's been a great relationship. So thank you, Moss, and thank you to the bowl. Yeah, that one too. Oh yeah, we were like, what? Yeah. So it's been fun, and we're just happy to be back at the bowl and continuing working together. I hope this is the first of many awards for the bowl.
This is the perfect place to launch it. I really felt the energy that night that we did it, and I can't tell you how many surfers, sailors, just ocean lovers in general that have told me, you know, because we announced it from the stage that night, and I remember everybody, I could feel the energy and people so excited about it, because I just got back from the sailing trip of doing research about you know, plastic pollution in the ocean, and really was eye-opening. Stuff that we all know about, but every time we'd pull this trawl in, there was pieces of plastic, even in the bluest ocean you've ever seen. And so it's really hit home for me. It's something I want to take on even more, just trying to eliminate the single-use plastic. And I know all ocean lovers want to do the same thing. I was actually doing a sailing course today, and the instructor on the boat was at the show that night. He told me, and he got the pint cup, and he was so excited, and he got home, and he lives on his boat, and he dropped it off that night. I don't know if he had too many pints of beer or whatever. So I'm going to bring him by another pint. I told you I'll get you another one for free. But anyways, like, there's just another example of somebody who told me how, you know, cool they thought that is, and how inspiring it is. You know, these music venues around the world, there's such a gathering place for people. It's such an inspiring place to come together when you get to see your favorite band. But the experience is just heightened so much when you come to a venue like the Bowl, where you're implementing things like this. It's really taking the next level, where these young minds are coming in. They're still figuring out how they're going to approach the world, you know, and they see, I guess, us adults making these kind of choices to do things like this.
You're an
And
adult now. You're
I am
yeah. We're officially adults.
40. But no, I mean, you know, the bands, we hope we're some part of it too, but really the venues are the gathering place where it all happens. And so these kind of choices, and, you know, just all the magic that goes into being the Santa Barbara Bowl, it really is a special place. And so we always walk away inspired, and every time we come here. So thanks for having us. We want to invite Rick and Barry up from the Bowl.
Rick Barry Bergman is on the board, and we're going to do one of these. We have never done. Yeah, we've never done this. Have you done these things before?
I don't think we have.
We have a pair of fancy scissors.
I like it.
Maybe you guys can hold it together. And Kizzy O'Neill, can I give a shout out to Kizzy for this beautiful bow?
All right, you guys ready for the chop? Yeah.
So then we have our Santa Barbara bowl cup. We gotta get some water out of this thing.
All right. Cool.
Make sure it works.
Thank you.
I've heard it does. But...
Well, let's see if you can go.
We can all go at once. No
Feels like paparazzi.
All right, cheers.
Oh, cheers.
Thanks a lot. Thanks everybody for being here too.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And we'd like to invite everyone who wants to kind of make our way up to the